171, 167, switch please.
Got the switch in the center. Right now I'm thinking, I just won this show. I'm in first place. You can see the look on my face. Coach Greg, and today I'm going to be going over my 2012 Canadian Nationals bodybuilding competition where I turned pro. Going to go over the video, tell you what I was thinking, give you the play-by-play, comment what are my weak poses, my strong poses, did I in fact deserve it, should I have gotten second or third. Going to explain the video in the eyes of the judge as well as myself. I remember this like it was yesterday, so stay tuned, watch the video. And so there's 27 competitors in this competition and you're hoping, please call me out for the first call out. First call out is the top guys, and in this lineup, they called 5 competitors. So I was standing in the back saying, please call me out for the top 5. Once you're in the top 5, anything can happen. Your goal at this point now to win is to get to the center. In the center, we have Tony Searle, who placed second last year and was the favorite to win this competition. I had not competed in 3 years and was down a weight class and placed third that year. So I'm standing on the right saying, well, hopefully they'll call me into the center. The judges are watching saying which of these guys looks best standing relaxed. You can see Larry Vinette in the red trunks, very good competitor, IFBB pro now, and he's now placed next to me. The closer you go to the center, the more you're likely going to win. And there they call my name and I'm out to the side. So now we have 3 of us in the center. So as it stands right now, Tony Searle is lined up for the win and myself and Larry Vinette are fighting for second and third. But we haven't gone through all the poses to this point. And to the sides, that is 4th and 5th place. So if you've never watched a bodybuilding competition, this is what you're thinking and this is what the eyes of the competitors are thinking. So Tony Searle right now in the center is thinking, yes, I'm probably going to win this. I'm in the center. And I'm thinking, just keep posing. Maybe they'll like what they see, put me in the center. And the front double bicep, you can see my leg out to the side. I pose a little bit different than these other guys. Oh, and here we go on the front lat spread. Tony Searle was rubbing the legs saying, hey, check out these quads. I'm not backing down. My quads seem to be just as good as the other competitors, perhaps with a bit more sweep. Standing relaxed, I try to tense my stomach, and at this point they're saying, your button's a little bit too close to the old crotch. Let's put that out on the side. We don't want to stare down there. Tony Searle's trying to stay pumped. He's happy, smiling in the center, doing the most muscular. Larry Vinette, calm and collected. I've been in this position before. I know what I'm doing. Larry Vinette soon turned pro after this competition. Front double bicep again. You can see my abs clearly visible, more so than the other competitors. Very strong pose for me. Biceps showing well. And immediately flexing the legs. You're always tensing on stage, never relaxing. Front lat spread, one of my worst poses. And Tony Searle seems to be winning this pose. Very wide shoulders and side chest. I pose a little bit different than these guys, trying to show my obliques. Trying to show a little bit different, standing up tall. You can see, I'm a short guy, but I actually look taller than Tony Searle in that pose. And from the rear, Tony Searle, shredded glutes. Look at the conditioning in Tony's glutes. However, my hamstrings do seem to stand out. I have more bumps on the back. Tony, big back, but not as much conditioning, not as much going on, not as much bumps, grooves, cool little things to look at. So I'm kind of lucky. I don't know why my body's like that. Probably genetics. And here, let's see the rear lat spread. Tony Searle dominating here. Look at this lat spread on Tony Searle. Clearly victorious. Larry Vinette, not quite as conditioned, not showing the hamstrings. I do have the best hamstrings in this pose, but Tony, much more lean in the legs and wider in the back, clearly dominating in the back lat spread. And side tricep, we have Tony showing excellent conditioning on the side of the legs. Triceps, it's a very difficult pose to judge who is the best person here. Possibly Tony Searle. However, he's not keeping the abs tense. He's breathing heavily. He's not able to show the ab conditioning. And next pose, thigh and abdominals. And definitely a strong pose for me. The abs are out. Tony's got strided quads. However, I do believe I'm winning this pose. More abdominal development. And you can see the sweating on Tony Searle in the center. They're going to rub him down. People think, oh, he's sweating because he's holding a lot of water. He's sweating because he's hot. All of us have water. We sweat because we're warm. It doesn't mean you didn't practice posing. It doesn't mean you're out of shape. And it doesn't mean you're on a bunch of PEDs. Although I'm sure we're all on a bunch of PEDs. And they're going to put us through another round. They're not done yet. The judges are thinking, I don't know. And what I'm thinking in my mind right now is, hopefully they put me in the center, because right now I'm fighting for second and third. My goal is to win this competition. I want to get my pro card. So even now we're flexing again, and I do feel I'm winning this pose. The abs are very tight, small waist in comparison to the shoulders. You can see I have the beginnings of a hernia, which I had to have fixed a couple of years after this. It kept getting worse. And everyone's favorite pose, the most muscular. I do this one with hands on the hips. Others put their hands in front. I feel hands on the hips shows off the abdominals more. And then you round it off with a most muscular, hands in front. Various forms, a favorite pose for most people. I do feel I have the best chest development here. The striations, probably the most conditioned overall. And we're waiting here, waiting and just flexing, tensing. The judges are still judging. They're trying to decide. Does this look good? Do we need to see them pose again? Still the 5th and 4th place guys, they're being switched over. Myself and Larry being switched over. This indicates we're still fighting for second and third. Tony Searle still in the 1st place position. I'm thinking, this ain't good. I was really hoping to be the center, but I'm not giving up. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to do my thing. Maybe they'll change their minds. You never know. We're still standing relaxed. As you see, relax. You're flexing your abs. I am absolutely exhausted at this point. And got the switch in the center. Right now I'm thinking, I just won this show. I'm in 1st place. You can see the look on my face. Yeah, that's it. They got me in the center. That means I'm the favorite at this point. Tony's moved down into 2nd and 3rd place. And we're going through the poses again. Front double bicep. I do feel I'm winning this pose. Abs are tight. Biceps full. Quads, great sweep. Larry Vinette seems to have very large quads. Just perhaps not quite as lean as he could be. The lat spread, I'm posing with my abs tense this time. I don't like this pose. I never felt comfortable doing it. Back into a side chest. Start from the ground up. Flex the calves, hamstrings, quads, and get into the pose. For this one, I tense the abdominals, the obliques. Trying to show more conditioning. Tony Searle on the right, he hunches down, gets shorter, look thicker. And from the rear, my hamstrings very well developed. Tony Searle, leaner glutes, puts his hands on the glutes, draw attention to it. Back double bicep, you see Tony on the right. Not as much definition. Big back, but not as much bumps going on, in particular in the upper back area. He's leaner in the glutes, but not in the back. And you're still flexing here, waiting for the next pose. Lat spread. Flexing the hamstrings, getting tired, taking my time getting into the full lat spread. And Tony dominating this pose again. Just such a wide back, small waist from this pose. Crazy glute striations and very good hamstrings. To see who wins the show, it's basically who wins the most poses. I do feel I've won probably all of them except perhaps 2 or 3 poses. Possibly not this one, hard to say. And overall, a combination of muscle size, shape, definition, everything rolled into one. And this pose, I think, sealed the deal. I believe if Tony Searle had my abdominals, he may have won this show. I think that's what made the difference. Doesn't have quite as tight of a midsection as I do. And in this show, I was 193 pounds, give or take, on stage. The weight cap limit is 198 pounds. And as I compete in classic physique, the limit is 185. So obviously I have to lose 8 pounds of muscle to compete now. And that's it for the first call out. And there you have it. That is my experience with winning my pro card. So what happened is I won my category, and to get a pro card, you had to place in the top 2 in the overall. Antoine Vaillant won the super heavyweight and overall title. And the next pro cards given to the second best competitor in the overall. It was between myself, Durrah, and Zane Watson. I was lucky to come out on top for this one. Zane Watson later won his pro card, as well as Durrah, both of which made it to the Olympia. Both amazing competitors. But in that year, had just enough conditioning and size to place second to Antoine Vaillant. Hope you enjoyed the video, found it informative. It'll shed some light on what it's like to pose and to be a competitor. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IB Pro. Please watch the bloops. Harder than last time supplements, including the testosterone cookbooks. I have so many of them. Training books, coaching plans by me and my team. Subscribe, click the bell button. Comment for the algorithm. Subscribe, bell button. And until next time, I'm out.
And that is number 167.